Good afternoon, folkers. Snapzilla Gorilla, aka Snap Turtle, aka The Definition. I'm coming at y'all with another short video. It's December 5th, 2019. We have partly cloudy skies. A lot of chemtrails in the air. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Either they're spraying to leave the particulates in the air so that the rain can come down and bring it down in acid rain, or they're going to irradiate it and try to prevent the rain from coming tomorrow. I'm going to start with this. I'm no one's fan, okay? I'm not a fan of anyone. Fan is short for fanatic. I'm no one's fanatic. I don't fanaticize over anybody. I'm not delusional. I don't think anybody's infallible. I don't think anybody's perfect. I don't put anybody above me. I don't put myself above anybody else, even myself. Like, I'm not infallible, you know. And sometimes I might say things that are out of pocket, and if somebody feels the need to try to put me back in pocket, then they have that right. And that's what being human being is all about. That's what dissent is all about. That's why dissent is so great. It helps keep you in check. That's part of checks and balances, which is what three branches of government are supposed to do, but we know dang well they don't do that. So to start with that, let's say that. Okay, I'm not anyone's fanatic. And to move on from there, I'm going to talk about how I did a video in response to something Brian from High Impact Flicks said. Okay, I think it was in September, October. I did a video presentation after Brian had done a video in regards to what Ilhan Omar said about the white man being the most dangerous person in this country. Okay, now she said that, and I don't think that's true. I don't agree with that. And I do agree that they're using the face of the white man as a domestic terrorist because they want to push gun control or people control. Simple as that. Everybody thinks that bearded white men in the woods are running around shooting a lot of guns, and the media and the government sees this as opportunity to strike fear in people's hearts of the white man. And what's the best way to handle that? Well, let's take guns away from everybody. That'll make the white man less dangerous. Simple as that. But really what the goal is to take the firearms away from the people so that we're more vulnerable and more dependent on the government, to make us victims, to make us reach out to the government, to make us seek the help from them, seek aid, free things, you know what I mean? So that's the whole agenda behind it. So I do agree that that's not true. But what Brian did in that video was use FBI statistics to point to black people as being the most dangerous people in this country. And that's where I was like, whoa, where are we going here? Because you're always talking about not trusting the government and not relying on the government for anything, not needing the government. And I 100% agree with that. I'm a George Carlinian myself. You know what I mean? I've been watching George Carlin since the 90s. I mean, I really appreciate his work. I mean, what George Carlin has been saying for decades, or had been saying for decades before he passed away, resonated with me for a very long time. So I'm with that. But I don't think George Carlin would point to government statistics to point a finger at black people. Okay, now there was no sarcasm in that. He really leaned on those statistics to push that. Now, what he did later on in another video was be sarcastic, talking about black supremacy. So I did a video in response to that, only because he had brought up the statistics before. Okay, I was like, okay, I see a pattern that may be forming here, and I understand that he's frustrated that white people are being used to push an agenda. Well, black people have been used for that for a very long time. Many groups have been used for that. Now they're using immigrants toward another agenda, toward gaining power through through more people, through the support of immigrants that could bolster up a candidate. Oh, we'll give you free shit if you cross the border illegally, whatever. You know what it is. Oh, we'll give you a sanctuary. We'll give you free medical. We'll give you free money. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. Okay, I understand that. I understand the agenda. Okay, so what I would point to is the Zionist banksters as the most dangerous group in this country. They're the most dangerous because they have, you know what they have at their fingers? They have the police departments. They have the military. They have all branches of government at their disposal. They have the media to push propaganda. So that's who I would point to. And they can incite violence in people without even raising their own hand in violence. To me, that's way more dangerous than black people killing each other, because most of the crimes black people commit are towards each other. But that really has to do with poverty. There's more crime in impoverished areas, whether you're black or white. So, anyway, and that's what I was talking about. Okay. Now, some people came into my comment section to defend Brian, of course, because, they hear me saying certain things and they'll take part of what I said and argue that, or they'll argue something that I'm not even making a point on, or they'll say things like, oh, Brian's not a white supremacist, Brian's not a racist. No one ever said that. I never said that Brian was racist. I never said that he was a white supremacist. Never said that. To me, he's a brother. He's a brother for the cause, and the cause is freedom. Point blank and period. Okay, that's what it is. Now he said some shit to me that was out of pocket, so I decided to make a video and put him back in pocket. Now I did a presentation because he brought up those statistics, and that's what everybody does, not just him. ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, the conservative twins, the amazing Lucas. These are black people now. They'll bring up these statistics from the FBI. But it really boggles my mind that Brian would use it, seeing as how he doesn't trust the government. I just didn't understand that. So, and not just in response to him, but in response to all those cats, I made that video. And Tim Pool as well. So I made a video dispelling the myth of the crime statistics from the FBI. I pointed out how black people are just more likely to be charged with crimes than white folks for the same crime. How they're more likely to be harassed and under suspicion than white people. How they're framed a lot more often. How they're falsely accused, falsely imprisoned. How they're exonerated. How over 90% of exonerations occur for black people who have already served time in prison. How a police chief in Florida specifically wanted to target black people to frame them for crimes they didn't commit. How over 2,000 individuals were falsely sentenced and imprisoned by a judge. How a forensic specialist locked thousands of black people away for falsifying their drug test results. I pointed all that out. So when you look at all those factors, and there are many more factors, you just got to go look at my video. I present a lot of evidence. There are a lot of factors that make me look at those FBI statistics and say, I'm going to use this as toilet paper. Fuck those statistics. Point blank and period. So that was what my issue was. And of course, when he was talking about black supremacists in another video, what about black supremacists? I know he was being sarcastic, even though I did a response video to that. I just felt like in every statement of sarcasm, there's some truth. There's some truth. There is some truth in that. He was being sarcastic about it, but I felt like it was a response or a reaction to white men being targeted by the media as being the most dangerous, as being dangerous and being mass shooters and all this other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I recognize that. But I was just saying, let's focus on the real enemy. That's what I was doing in that video. It wasn't really to get on him about saying that. It was a number of things. It just added up. So that's what that was about. So I had people come into my comment section under that video and defend him, of course, and I just had to do this other video. Like, look, people were coming in and, like I said, they were arguing points that weren't even relevant. Like, no one said he was racist. No one said he's white supremacist. I don't believe that. I don't believe he is. As a matter of fact, I've seen Brian on a number of occasions promote black YouTube channels. I honestly believe that he's not racist. But I do believe that he will stand up for his people, which are white folks, right? He will defend his people. And in so doing, on a couple of occasions, he pointed to black people. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't make him racist, doesn't make him a white supremacist. Makes him frustrated. Makes him frustrated at the media, makes him frustrated at the government for pushing that BS onto his fellow man. I've seen him get angry about Philando Castile being murdered by the police. He doesn't discriminate when people are being unjustly accused, being unjustly harassed, being unjustly murdered by the police or by the government. No, I know that. I recognize that. No one's saying that. I'm saying, let's not do that. Let's not do the whole black people are not the 2%. No, we're not doing that, because that's not true. That's patently false. And I presented the evidence to prove it. So, moving on. I know he's not a white supremacist. I know he's not racist. You don't have to come in my comments. Well, you can. You do whatever you want in my comment section. I don't care. It's a free world, free speech, whatever. I'm not going to be mini YouTube. I'm not going to be mini Susan Wojcicki over here. Say whatever you want in my comment section. I'm just saying. No one said that. Let's present proper arguments. Let's argue against what I said in the video. Now, people were saying he was being sarcastic. I acknowledge that. But the things he said before, using those statistics, that wasn't sarcasm. Understand that. So anyway, I got mad respect for Brian, right? I enjoy his content. He produces great content. I can tell that he used to work as a journalist. You know, he's very good at what he does. And I'm glad someone like him is on our side. And the side is freedom, the side of the freedom lover, the side of the people who wants to be left alone by a government that means to do them harm. So that's where I'm at with it, and I don't mind the dissent in that video. Like, bring on the dissent. Let's get our minds going. Let's spark some debate. Let's spark some thoughts in our mind to help us expand our reality, expand our perspective beyond what we're used to. You know, see, I'm a pragmatic person. I don't have to hate somebody because of one thing they said. Like, I don't hate Brian because he pointed that stuff out. No, I just like, okay, well, you said that, I'm gonna say this, and that's all it is to it. So anyway, that's how we're gonna move with it. Much love to you guys. Let's see, was there something else? No, I don't think there was. No, I know he's not. Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, all there is to it. You know, I support him. I support others. You know what I mean? Check out Brian from High Impact Flicks. Check out Derek Williams. Derek Williams is a hell of a content creator. He has a lot of good content. Queen Supreme or Queen's Throne, man, she puts out some. You talk about putting in the work and the research. Check her out. I don't really follow a lot of people, you know. I don't really watch a lot of people's content because I constantly see things that shed light on a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of inconsistencies. These people that I just mentioned are very consistent in my mind, and I'm very discerning about who I decide to spend my time viewing and enjoying their content. So anyway, much love to y'all. Hit that like button, share the video, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Or if you got anything against what I said, put it in the comment section. I'll look for the video that I did with my evidence in regards to black crime, and I put it in the comment, and I put it in the comment section so you guys can check that out for yourself. See what I dug up there. And I've done quite a few presentations. I've done a few presentations showing evidence of the things that I speak of. I've done presentations on 5G. I've done presentations on how 5G is connected to 2030, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, all this other stuff. I've done a presentation on how the Common Core curriculum, how 5G, how all vaccines are connected to the rise of child suicide and child depression. I've done a presentation on that. I've done a presentation on, like I said, I've done a presentation on black crime. I got to go back, but I've done some presentations where I actually show some receipts and show you what's going on. So it's very hard for me to find the time to do that. I got 5 kids that are still like kids. They're still babies, and and I'm married. I have a lot of demands of my time, and I would love to do more of those presentations, but I'll get back to it. But anyway, that's what I got for y'all. Say what you got to say, and we can move on and move on towards freedom. Let's do that, because a lot of things going on. I'm about to be talking about that Virginia situation soon, how Virginia is trying to pass laws. It's just a ridiculous law. Like, this is probably going to make Virginia the most gun-restricted state in the country. It was a red state not too long ago. Then all of a sudden it flipped blue, and boom, what do? As soon as they get the House and the Senate, they're pushing these ridiculous gun laws. So anyway, check that out, y'all. Check out these people that I mentioned. Great content. Great content. Just, they don't waste time. It's good. Anyway, much love.